Good evening to everybody. QST, QST, QST. Should I say that twice? I don't think so. This is 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra, net control for this evening for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. I do say hello to Ian and Anthony, who are already logged in. Due to circumstances beyond our control, of course, we don't have the other repeater with us, but we do thank Marco for his dedication and, of course, for trying to put it right in time. We also thank the trustees of this link and 2780 links to this link on Echolink, so that we can carry out the net without any problem. I will pause. I also would like to thank Anthony especially for his dedication and also for the work he puts into this bi-weekly net. Net meets every 15 days, every fortnight, currently at 1800 Zulu, 8 o'clock p.m. Malta time or Central European time, where the weather today was just fantastic. And it was a bit breezy and it was very nice. But I would like to thank everybody, most of all the people who are going to participate in the net this evening. I will take a pause. The net is also being broadcast on YouTube, and we do thank the various people who are involved behind the scenes to make this thing happen every 2 weeks. So without any further ado, I would now like to call for check-ins. I do have already 9H5 Fox Alpha 9H and G1 G0 BIA, so you don't have to check in. You're already checked in. I know that Ian has a limited time, so I will pass over the microphone to them very, very soon. Please check in with your call sign twice, slowly, and if possible, if it's the first time, your name. This is 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra. Name is Charles. The QTH is Sliema, Malta. I'm going to take a few seconds pause. Any more check-ins for the net this evening, please call. So with your permission, Anthony, I'm going to pass the microphone immediately to Ian. I know that he doesn't have a lot of time. So go ahead, Ian, with your transmission. This is 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra to G1, oh boy, G0 Bravo India Alpha. Go ahead.
9 Hotel 1 FPS, G0 BIA, good evening to 9 Hotel 1 US Anton, and good evening to 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, Anthony. Nice to hear you on. As I've come through on DMR, I'm using only Anytone. I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl and see if it works, and it does. I find that the clarity of the transmission from your end is slightly down on clarity, whereas on Echolink it's really sharp. So it's nothing to do with. It's probably just to do with the system. But I know what you're saying, HI. I'm glad you've had fantastic weather today. I don't know. We're not doing too bad. Our weather's up and down at the moment. I've got 15 degrees in the garden in the shade and 15.2 wind chill. We keep on getting low depressions coming across and giving us a few days of rain and then a few days of sunshine, as is the norm in the UK from the southwest. So otherwise, spring's on its way. The garden is flowering nicely, and as my ex-YL told me this afternoon, some weeds to come out. As I corrected her, I took a lot of weeds out the other week, and I thought, well, what do they call these? And I found out through the Royal Horticultural Society that there were actually some form of cress which you can actually eat, bitter cress. And in the society said, it's not a weed, it's just a wild plant in the wrong place. So I'll go along with that. I will never take a weed up again, HI. Anyway, I'll bid you farewell. I hope others do come on the net this evening. A reasonably good session. From Golf Zero, Bravo, India Alpha. Saha, Alayla Tayeb from the UK. This is G0BIA standing by for any final word, Charles.
Yeah, okay, that's very good. Well, I can hear you okay it's not as good as Echolink, but I can hear you okay. Well, I am listening on Echolink, but transmission is quite good. So, without further ado, I will pass it over to Anthony before taking more check-ins. 9H5FA with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, 9H1FBS.
Nine H1FBS, net controller for the seasons. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. I'd like, first of all, to publicly thank Marco Shiberras, 9H5 Sierra November. He did message me earlier today to tell me about the issue with the analog repeater and Echolink, but I didn't see the message. So when I tried to connect via Echolink, just half an hour before this net was scheduled to start, I noted that the analog repeater was offline, and I phoned him, and there's a technical issue which is doing his best to solve, but it's not completely within his immediate control. But thanks, Marco. Thanks for sending the message, and apologies, I didn't see it before. I did send, just a few minutes ago, I did send an email to all the people on the mailing list of this net, asking them to connect via DMR, for tonight at least. And so I'm not sure exactly who has seen it, but we'll do what we can. I'm seeing someone else has checked in actually. Let me pass on the mic back to net control. I'm seeing one other person on Echolink who was just connected. Back to you, Charles. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
This is G0BIA.
Okay, very good. Have a good evening, Layla Tayyip, Ian. And thank you very much for being here. I'm going to call for more check-ins. Please come with your call sign twice, phonetically, and if you're a newcomer, your name. This is 9H1FBS, Net Control, 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
H1FBS, 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris, through Echo Link. I'm aware that there's a technical issue right now on the analog repeater. Just checking in, 9H1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
As a personal remark, you sound better on Echo Link, Chris. Let's see if there's anybody else. Does anybody else would like to check in? Chris, by the way, when you say check in very quickly, it sounds like chicken. Must be that I didn't have my dinner yet. Turning chicken into chicken. 9H1 Tango Lima, go ahead, good evening.
H1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. It does indeed sound like chicken, and if you remember some time back, I had tried to transcribe some of the recordings sent to me from 9H5FA. I tried to transcribe them through artificial intelligence, and it seemed that it was doing a good job, but after a while, for some reason, it somehow learned incorrectly that check-in becomes chicken, and that became a bit problem because you had to edit each and every one of them, and the AI struggled to learn because AI has trouble with context and was just assuming that we were talking about chickens. And it gets quite funny because the software actually gives you a summary, and it tries to fill in the gap where it doesn't actually understand what's going on. So it assumed that we were talking about chickens, and it was just funny. Anyway, so back to Net Control, 9H1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
Well, Chris, I'm not a beef person, so that's exactly what I had for lunch, chicken. Actually, it was a chicken type burger type thing, and some chips with it, and I was like the proverbial king of whatever. But, you know, it's nice. Chicken is good. Even fish, I love fish. And anyway, so let's see if there are more check-ins for the net this evening. 9H1FBS. No, not yet. Anyway, my postman came with a Braille book today, and he was definitely from India. So he rang the bell, and he asked me if he could just chuck it out, behind the door. I said, yeah, of course, do so. Anyway. Traffic is still blooming. I had to close the window, but it's become a very dangerous street. In fact, a friend of mine and myself are in the process of writing again to the local authorities whether they could install some sort of pedestrian crossing in this part of the street. Now, QRX, when the bus cannot go through Mrabat, it comes down here.
2015.
Very interesting, eh? It comes down from Birkirkar Road, goes down this bit, and then turns up the hill. So that's how bad it is in these parts. 9H5FA, 9H1FBS.
Nine H1FBS, 9H5FA. Yeah, I remember you had taken up the pedestrian crossing issue quite a long time ago now. To be honest, I assumed that something had been done about it. I wasn't aware that it's still not there, and it is a bit dangerous to cross the road from front to residence. The road is it's a semi-blind corner there. Yeah, okay. So not sure if I got you correctly. Did you get any sort of positive reply, or is it still pending or being planned at the moment? 9H1FBS, 9H5FA.
I haven't got the foggiest idea. Okay, let's see. Today 11. Saturday week, which will be the 20th of April, was my first email with my hand in my right hand in a cast to the local authorities here, to the council. So that's coming up to 2 years. We're trying to do our best. I've spoken to the mayor a couple of times, and also a guy who works just down the street here. He is what do you call him, a vice mayor. So I've spoken to him too, and we're trying to get it moving. So we'll see. Anyway, it is our problem. I mean, not my problem, but our problem, because most of the residents in this street are senior citizens like myself. Some are older, some are younger. Most of them are older, and they also find difficulties to cross the street, although they have sight. But sometimes when I have this window open, I can hear certain, shall we say, phrases which you cannot repeat over amateur radio. Hi. Anyway, let's see if there are any more check-ins this evening. 9H1FBS with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, standing by for check-ins. Nope, not yet. So maybe you have something else to say, Chris. 9H1 Tango Lima, 9H1FBS. It's very nice of you to come always on the last time. 2 weeks ago I was somewhere else. Let's see. 2 weeks ago, yeah, I was actually invited by a friend to go with her to church, and then afterwards we went out and had a short, not a pizza together. So that was fun. Ferrandar, But anyway, mine was ifungi, so I didn't break any rules. Hi. 9H1 Tango Lima, 9H1FBS. Now I have a pergola which I'm going to start, so I'm keeping with tradition. Go ahead.
9H1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. Ifungi happens to be my favorite pizza as well. But I haven't had the pizza in quite a while. Anyway, a comment about planning of crossways and streets. I've noticed there are quite a few problems where I live. For example, They made quite a nice garden nearby, but unfortunately, the zebra crossing that they put was it was planned in such a way that the trees and whatever hide whoever happens to be just about to cross. So if you're driving, and since it's a straight road and there's a tendency for some people to step on it a bit, I think it's quite a bit of a danger. And I know that you find these zebra crossings either too close to a corner where people tend to turn. I really wish that there would be more thought into these things, because unfortunately people are living more hectic and rushed lives. No judgment passed to anyone, but everyone has to rush to earn a living nowadays. And unfortunately, when you rush, accidents happen, and it's very often we end up blaming the individual, but there are systemic problems, and I think a lot of them are attributable to planning of where these things are placed. Anyway, back to net control and 9H1 FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
Okay, 9H1 Tango Lima, 9H1 FBS. I'm very, very sorry, Chris, but at the time that you started speaking, I had a landline, so I told the person to keep it short. All this technology, it's very, very interesting. Anyway, there was a picture on I don't know what other papers it was on, but there was a chap from Fort St. Angelo who took some pictures of smoke rings coming out of Etna. Maybe you can, it was on, I read it on the Times of Malta, but there are pictures there, so if you're interested, you might try to find the article. If you can't find it, I have the link for it, so I can send it to you, but I don't think I have your email. So I'll send it to Anthony anyway, and he can relay it to you. Back to you, Anthony. 9H5 Fox Alpha, 9H1 FBS.
QSL, 9H1 FBS with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9H5 Fox Alpha. Yes, I have Chris's email. I can forward it to him, no problem. I can also send you Chris's email, I guess. I can send you his email address if you wish. I can do it after this net, and you can contact him directly if you wish. Regarding the pedestrian crossing, would it be possible? I mean, I'm just suggesting, perhaps if you get could you get some support from other residents of the same streets? Perhaps if, more people put a request in for the same pedestrian crossing, maybe the local council will have a bit more, pressure, or a bit more insistence to work on. I don't know. Have you considered that? 9H1 FPS with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9H5 FA.
Actually, Anthony, this friend of mine, lives just down the road. Talkirsha, the steep hill that's just round the corner, and he wrote to the council this afternoon. So and my neighbors told me that a few years ago they did a survey here. So there must have been some plan to start this thing going. When I say a few years ago, I think it's about 4 or 5 years. It's we'll keep at it, We'll just keep at it. If needs be, we will we will write an article on the newspapers and see what comes out of that, because sometimes, you know, it does make a difference if you have a published article on the newspaper. Anyway, but what I usually do, for example, tomorrow I know I have to run, do some errands at the nearby convenience shop. So what I do, I just go to the electrical guy next door, and one of his boys one of the gentlemen working there would help me to cross the street. Anyway, I can't imagine them being called boys. First of all, most of them are taller than I am, and they're grown-up men, you know, I mean, they're adults. Anyway, just to make things a bit spicier. Okay. Anyway, let's try again and see if there are any more check-ins for the net this evening, either on DMR or through Echolink 9H1 DMR-L. 9H1 FBS, standing by.
Uh, 9H1 FBS with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9H5FA. I'm monitoring the analog repeater on RF, and there are some hams over there at the moment saying that sort of they can't connect, and I just spoke to them and told them to connect via DMR. So we might get some other check-ins in a couple of minutes, hopefully. Back to net control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Yeah, we ought to give you a bonus for what you do, Anthony. Okay, this is 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Are there any more check-ins for the net this evening? Please call now. Okay, not yet. Maybe later. 9H1 Tango Lima. What's you been doing lately, Chris? Go ahead.
Nine H1 FBS, 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. Lately I've been trying to prepare things for summer, so trying to set up better cages for the birds outside, much larger, much roomier that I can walk in rather than inside, because it does get a bit hot inside, especially on the roof. I will be enlarging some enclosures even for the rabbits, so that they'll have more and more ventilation, because inside it does get quite a bit hot. Gardening is a pleasure right now during this time of year. I mean, the smells of like the herbs and everything is just wonderful when you walk in here, and just wonderful. Alright, so back to you. 9H1 FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
Do you have rabbits as pets or as a source of food?
9H-1 FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima Chris. Well, my extended family, my uncles, and I do help them on the farm. They do have meat rabbits and quite a few of them, and I do help them out and taking care of those. It's a group effort, and hey, you get free rabbits, which I do enjoy. I do love rabbit meat very, very much. Georgia and my wife roast a very, very good rabbit. But I do have 2 pet rabbits at home, which I wouldn't dream of eating. One of them was actually given to me because it was found outside. Someone had abandoned it, and they knew that I do take care of rabbits, so they brought it to me, and I quite love him very much. He's right next to me right now. Actually, I'm on the roof having my warm soup, and with my pet rabbit right next to me. All right, so back to net control, 9H-1 FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. We used to bring them up in Birkirkara just for food. I never killed a rabbit in my life. That's what I can say. Never, never, never. I used to let somebody else do it. And I'm reading a book about rabbits. It's called Watership Down. I heard of the film, which was made about 45, 50 years ago, and I'm reading the book. I downloaded it from the internet, and it's very, very interesting. We used to, as I said, we used to rear them when we lived in Birkirkara. But the meat is good, but I wouldn't dare kill a rabbit in my life. So far, so good. Anyway, anybody else for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet this evening? 9H-1 FBS.
Good evening, Net Control. This is Italy Tango 9/9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra. I'm a portable station. Of course, I'm using the internet. I hope you managed to get this message. The connection is very, very weak at the moment. Trevor 9H5CS. I guess at Nopara at Sicily Palissa on the way back to the island. So Alissa Italy Tango 9 area. Of course, I'm using the internet, so it's not exactly full RF. Technically, if I was using the radio in this location, it's Italy Tango 9 Niji/9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra Trevor Hammud at mobile station. Roger.
Yeah, well, if you're on the water, you're marine mobile, actually, or maritime mobile. Glad to have you. Thank you for checking in. As you can see, this evening we had to restrict the activity to one repeater or link, the 9H DMR, but we're doing fine. Very welcome. Are you coming back to Malta? Are you on the way to Malta now?
QSL, Net Control, QSL. Yes, on the way, and not yet maritime mobile. Għaddim il-proċeduri to be maritime dal-waqt, I guess. Emma kif qed ngħidu, this is an internet connection obviously, so it's not RF here on the ship itself. So otherwise kiku irid il-permission tal-kaptan. Emma yes, it's on the way back. Kanna ġurnata naqra team building u exercise ta' tax-xogħol. And here we are. We're very tired. Emma I took this opportunity nikkonnetti naqa' repeater. Over.
Good, and I can hear voices around you, so you must be at the check-in point or checking point. Thanks for joining us. Very appreciated from this side. Let me take another break for check-ins. This is 9H-1FBS. As you would say there, buonasera, dall'isola di Malta. Okay, so back to you, Anthony, 9H-5FA, 9H-1FBS.
Nine H1FBS, 9H5FA. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add at the moment. Thank you, Trevor, for coming in from Sicily. Yeah, you came in loud and clear. Well, I'm just going to pass back to that control because I really have nothing more to add. 9H-1FBS, the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Yeah, it's funny, when you laugh, Anthony, I can't understand you, but that's it. Let's see, is there anything else anybody would like to say? Come now.
Uh, 9H-1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima. Just something small to add.
Go ahead. Nine H1 Tango Lima, go ahead.
9H-1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima. I'm very glad you mentioned Watership Down. I had watched it and enjoyed it so much. It is a work of art. I'm sure the novel you'll enjoy it very much. I do hope to find it. Maybe I could read it sometime because it's childhood memory that is very strong with me because I'd enjoyed it so much. Very sad at some moments, but it's a masterpiece, I think. All right, so back to Net Control, 9H-1FBS from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
Yeah, because I was hearing Bright Eyes on the radio, and I said, I want to read this book. I don't care if it's a children's book, I don't really care at all, but, you know, most of these, I don't think that you have to be a very young child to read this, because it's rather long. I've just started part 2, when they actually get to Watership Down, and let's see, where I am now is they're starting to build, or should I say dig, new premises for them to stay in. It's very interesting, and there's, I feel, a lot of psychology behind it. So there you are. One of the things that I hold on, that I read was that there were a company of creatures who were so, shall we say, well off that they just lost most of their natural tendency to search and other etc. But we might go into that later. Anyway. So, are there any more check-ins for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet? Last call, 9H-1FBS. I think we can call it a day, gents. Thank you very much for being here. Our next net is supposed to be on the 25th of this month. And again, I would like to thank especially Antoine and his brother, I believe, which always escapes me, for providing the service on this repeater. and also Marco and Mark for the 9H-1 UHF repeater as well. 73, so everybody, thank you very much for being here, for your participation. Very much appreciated on my side. At least I wouldn't be talking for 45 minutes to myself, so I do sometimes take a minute or two to do that, especially when I'm deciding something, but not for 45 minutes. So thank you very much, gents, for being here. All the best to you and your families. And remember, I think we're going to have a warm, long summer. Or is it long, warm summer? Whatever. 73 to everybody. Thank you.